Welcome to another edition of Handicapped Born Black in America. I'm your host, Ramon Rome, and this is being brought to you by Judicial Freedom Riders Incorporated. We're a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to reform our justice system. This video is entitled, Is Stacey Dash Really Clueless? Yeah, recently Stacey Dash, she reported, she was on the Handy show, and she said that, referring to black people as feeling they feel worthless and they're uneducated. And she got a backlash by it. You know, she became, I guess, got some really hate mail when during the Romney campaign, that she said that, hey, I support Mitt Romney. And of course, you know, we're like, wait a minute, how can this sister, you know, Stacey Dash, how can she look to support Mitt Romney? Well, you know, she had being objective about it. If you being objective and not looking at skin color, but you look at substance, and that's what she did. She made a choice. But there are many blacks, myself included, that does not. I don't have a favorable viewpoint of President Obama because of basically his policies, and many of his policies. I'm a Christian first. Many of his policies are actually anti-Christian. But Stacey Dash received all kinds of hate mail. But now here's the thing: when she said that blacks are uneducated, I believe that she meant politically uneducated. Many of us, black people, we look at President Obama as our president. He represents us. However, there is no kind of statistic data, no kind of policies that actually says that he actually does anything for blacks. You can listen to Dr. Omar Johnson, Dr. Boyce Watkins, Dr. Cornel West, Jeffrey Sewell, the economist, the black economist. I believe he's doctor as well. You can listen to Tavis Smiley. You can listen to many black leaders that they will tell you that actually we have done worse underneath the president. So now, why should it be that why not examine the record? Examine the record, and not the skin color, but examine the record. Now, Stacey Dash, she examined the record. Now, we may say that, you know, because she was in the movie Clueless, that she's clueless. But if you have scholars, black scholars, that are in agreement with her, basically, fundamentally, they're in agreement with her, why should she get hate mail? Do you hate Cornel West? Do you hate Tavis Smiley? Do you hate Dr. Omar Johnson? Do you hate Boyce Watkins? Come on. So I think that we should not, first, let me say this is that the president is a job. He gets a paycheck. If he doesn't do his job, he doesn't get a paycheck. So whenever you are working for somebody, which President Obama is actually working for you, just like Bush was, Clinton was, the other Bush, Reagan, all the presidents, they actually work for you, basically for a paycheck. They are not a king or a messiah, as many want to be looking at President Obama as a messiah. They're not that. They are servants. And understanding what a servant is, I serve. When you're a servant, you are serving the master. Who's the master? The master is the American people. Now, you may believe that he may be good optics for the nation. That may be so. But before you criticize Ms. Dash, examine the record. She looked at the record of President Obama, and she determined he's not what I want. If Stacey Dash said that, if Stacey Dash had to write a check to President Obama, she would probably give him a pink slip, basically. That's what she's saying. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, He won the election. No wrong. Just because he won the election don't mean I have to have he gets an undying support. And that's what she's saying. Look, he is just a president. Just like when, if you didn't like him, you didn't have to vote for him in 2008 or 2012. I'm sorry. You didn't like what he did. You didn't. And there are many people that did not vote for him. They would have said, no, we would let somebody else do the job. But he won the election. Just because he won the election now does not make him to be all qualified. No, that's probably because that people didn't want Mitt Romney in, and there's a reason why, which I'm not gonna go all into that. But Stacey Dash has a right to voice her opinion, and maybe she should be. Maybe you ought to examine on why, instead of criticizing her. Maybe let's find out why she has decided to do so. So maybe you ought to ask yourself, why do those other black scholars, all of them that have criticized the president, why aren't you hating them as well? So there's a reason why African Americans, there's a reason why blacks, a certain segment of the black population has held President Obama's feet to the fire. Stacey Dash is just doing just that. She's holding his feet to the fire. So maybe we ought to, instead of glorifying him or deifying him, maybe you ought to put him in his place, and he is a servant. Is he serving you? There is no in every economic indicator, African Americans are doing far worse underneath President Obama than they did under George W. Bush. Far worse. So she's recognizing that. The thing is, are you recognizing that? This has been Handicapped Born Black in America. Please subscribe. I appreciate your time. This 8 minutes that you spent, I appreciate your time. But I also would greatly appreciate if you subscribe. We need your subscription. We are nonpartisan. I am not Democrat nor Republican. I'm going to hold any president, any elected official to the fire. John Singletary and myself, our mission is to make a fair justice system. And we cannot make a fair justice system without your help. You can help by subscribing. Again, as I close, this has been another edition of Handicapped Born Black in America.
Thanks for watching.